Hello, welcome to CMC Markets Connect. Look at the week ahead and look at the week just gone by. It's been a softish and subdued week for equity markets, with concerns about a global demand slowdown appearing to weigh on risk sentiment more broadly. We've also had the political theatre around the US debt ceiling, which has dominated the discourse in the media and which has now been pushed into next week. The risks of which, I think, at US default, they're always a little bit overstated, given how regularly we've seen this scenario play out over the course of the last few years on a regular rinse and repeat basis. It's really very much a melodrama. Central banks continue to keep their options open about further rate hikes, with the Bank of England following the Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank in hiking rates by 25 basis points this week, with the potential for at least one or two more. Though we have seen evidence this week that perhaps inflation is starting to slow quite markedly, particularly on the PPI measure. I should draw your attention to China factory gate prices, which fell for the 6th month in a row, this time by 3.6% in April, while CPI also came in an awful lot lower than expected. US PPI for April also came in below expectations. And this has been driven largely by declines in copper prices, oil and gas prices. Copper prices fell to their lowest levels this year, earlier this week, while the US dollar has edged higher. Bond yields have been slightly softer. So as we look ahead to the upcoming week, my main focus will be on US and China retail sales for April, with a particular focus on China, given those weak inflation numbers earlier this week. Now, obviously, the Chinese economy has reopened and reopened quite strongly over the course of the past couple of months. And recent numbers from luxury retailers like Hermes, LVMH, Richemont, Kering have suggested there's been a really big rebound in Chinese retail sales, or their sales in that particular area. So that should be reflected in the April retail sales numbers that are due out later in the week. 22% increase year on year. We also have to put that in context, however, given the fact that most of the Chinese economy was locked down a year ago. So we could see a very strong rebound there. US retail sales, consumer spending has slowed a little bit in March, should see a little bit of a rebound in April. Going forward, I think the US banking sector woes weighed a little bit on demand in March, could see some of that rebound in April. And we've also got some big earnings announcement from the big box retailers in the US, Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, who are publishing their first quarter numbers later in the week. We've also got the full year numbers from Burberry. So will we see a similar rebound in their China sales that we've seen in their sector peers going forward? We've also got first half numbers from EasyJet, and they should be interesting in the context of whether their booking numbers are continuing to head higher. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much for listening. It's Michael Hewson talking to you from CMC Markets Connect.